Hey, welcome back. Might get a little weird today. We are gonna have to go over with this video what constitutes a bourbon, and we're gonna talk about millet grain right after this. All right, guys, we have KOVAL. I say guys because I've been watching, and I watched a thing called Fake Famous on HBO Max, and it was talking about buying bots, you know, to like and subscribe and comment and all that to your stuff. I would never do anything like that. I'm trying to grow organically. You know, but here lately I've had a lot with work, and I haven't been able to go out and get on live streams and join people's streams and keep my name and face out there. So, you know, I'm kind of hovering around 300 and something subs. And if y'all wouldn't mind, share me out, man. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and hit the subscribe. I'm a tiny little channel, but I guarantee you I'm keeping it organic. I'm not gonna pay for bots and things like that to try to drive up anything. I want all of my subs and all of the people watching this stuff to genuinely be watching and commenting genuinely and wanting the content. And if I never grow, that's fine. Don't care. I'm still gonna bring it to you though. But today, let's talk about KOVAL. KOVAL was one that someone had mentioned something to me, and they said, man, you need to look this up. I know you like to bring only what's on the bottle, but you need to kind of look KOVAL up just a little bit before you try it, so you can get the full intensity out of the experience. And I said, well, I don't like doing that. I like to pick things out, and a buddy of mine's from Chicago. He's like, you're never gonna pick the grain. You're never gonna do it. So why don't you go look it up? So I did. I looked it up. So let's go over what a bourbon is one more time. A bourbon has to be at least 51% or more corn in the mash. It can be 100% corn, but it has to be at least 51% corn in the mash bill. Now, the other 49%, or sometimes like bourbons will have like a 63% mash grain, and then that only leaves you, you know, the 37% what's left. Well, this one happens to be 51% corn in the mash. Typically the other lesser grains, because the primary grain's corn, the other lesser grains are usually malted barley, wheat, rye, and things like that. So, you know, and toasted barley malt and things like that. Now, what they've done is used millet grain. And millet is like an ancient grain, usually grown in India, Asia, you know, places like that. And it's kind of like rice or quinoa or something, but the nutritional value is totally different. You can look it up, but it's millet, millet grain. And it is supposed to be good for you, whatever. And you know, but bourbon's good for you anyway, right? Right. So we always drink healthy. But this is a Chicago, and this is distilled. It says from 100% grains on the bottle. That's why I had to look it up. I didn't know what it was. And it says aged under 4 years. Now, to be called just a bourbon, it has to be at least 2 years. Now, they don't give an age statement like over 3, under 4. It's just under 4 years. So that's all we know, but it's somewhere between. It has to be over 2. It has to be 2 years in new American oak barrels before it can even be called a bourbon. And then there's the Kentucky straight bourbon and stuff like that, different little rules depending on what you put on the bottle. But this is just single barrel bourbon. So this is barrel number 5C9A0F, you know, whatever that is. But it is distilled and bottled by KOVAL. So they're not procuring bourbon, this is it. And it's Chi-Town, Chicago. So that's bourbon. Millet grain, I have no idea what to expect from this, but he told me to expect something different. So, oh, and the millet grain that they use, I have a few notes back here behind, is they're only supposed to use the heart of the millet grain, which means they cut the ends off of it and they only use the right out of the middle of the grain. So I don't know what that does or does not do. Goodness gracious, this is a tight cork. There it is. Good rubber cork. The whole thing's one piece of rubber. So let's go on ahead. Now let's look at the color on this thing. I have never tried this. That is the first time the cork has been out of this bottle. I took the wrapper off so I wouldn't fumble with it. There, it went in easy enough. All right, so let's look. Medium amber, medium to light. Give her a swirl. Looks like bourbon, but a lot of things look like bourbon. Let's see here. Get a little air in it. Yeah, the nose is different, a little bit different. I'm still picking up some vanilla and caramels and stuff, but yeah, there's something coming through in there that I'm not used to. Now, another bourbon that I like, and I love to find bourbons that are unique and different, and one of them I've gone back to time and again is Duke. And Duke is like, I call it the fruit salad of bourbons. But it is very fruity bourbon. But this one, I don't know what to. There's a buttery undertone just a little bit to this. It's nowhere near Scotch for sure. But you know what? I'm getting some better oaky notes out of this thing than when it's like a wheated bourbon. Gosh, I just can't put my finger on what that is. Oh, the other one that we had not too long ago was Tidewalker from Maine. And it had that little licoricey hint to it. And I enjoyed it very much. And I will enjoy more of it from time to time. Yeah, this is unique. I can tell you that. Now let's see what it does on the tongue. Okay, I don't like to give a lot of notes off that first sip. It's different. It is different, okay? But with that said, let me take another sip of this thing. The hell is that? It is sweet up front. It's pretty sweet. Not too sweet. I'm not going to say it's syrupy or anything. Man, that's not bad. There is a, it's buttery too, very buttery. I'm getting those oak notes off the sides, pepper. I'm getting a lot of peppery notes down, on each side of the middle of the tongue. Man. Wow, that's good. Man, that is different, but that's really good. I think I mentioned, I may not have. If I didn't, I'll say it again. Or if I didn't, I'll say it the first time. If I did, I'll say it again. It's 47% alcohol by volume, 94 proof. So it's knocking on that I like it between over 90, but I really like the 100 proof and up. But this is giving me a slight warmth. Not too much, not too bad. It's pretty easy to sip. man, what is that? That is incredible. It is, it's that buttery keeps it from like really being dissected. There is like a sweet, but not too sweet, like a semi-sweet candy type flavor to this. It is so weird, but good at the same time. That's taken me away from bourbon though. I can't hardly believe they can legally call this a bourbon. It is so different, but that's good. That is good. I think this is very unique. I really like this, just to say, oh, you think you know what bourbon is? Here, let me show you something. I think one thing that's exciting me about this is, I've said it before, that there are so many grains and so many factors that can go into bourbon, between the char on the barrel. It just says New American Oak, barrels, but there's number 2 char, 3 char, 4 char, all this stuff. It's the length of time it stays in there. You can finish it in different types of barrels, or even do like double oaked, where you finish it in a more heavily charred barrel. You can put rye, all of these different percentages. And I've even seen like 2% rye make a huge difference in a bourbon. And so just imagine, if you put tons of different grains, but this really sets the stage for how different a bourbon can be from your mainstream stuff. And I know a lot of people like wheaters, and most people like at least heavy wheat, and I've had some 100% corns that were misses, but a lot of times the 100% corn will be like 60% yellow corn and 40% blue or white or something like that corn. And so they try to mix it up, but some of those are okay, some of them are not. Millet grain, man, that is fantastic. Yeah, the more I drink on it, there's this candy note in there, and I cannot put my finger on it. Wow, it's good. And there's that buttery undertone. But yeah, I am getting some of that oaky note over here, and it's well balanced across the tongue. Now it's talking about few noted. If I had to pick some fruits out in there, raisins, maybe. Yeah, maybe. Like an oatmeal raisin cookie type thing, where the raisins have been baked, and or dates, baked dates. That would be a good one. Apricot maybe in there. Yeah, like dates that have baked. Like my wife made oatmeal date cookies one time, and that's sort of in there. But there's this candy. Oh, you know what? Like candied dates or something maybe, or candy apricot, but where it's got the little sugary stuff around the outside or something. But again though, it's not over sweet, but it's there and it's hovering. It's almost like the sweetness is hovering over the tongue on a buttery layer, rather than setting down heavy on the tongue. This is really good. Well, all right guys, definitely glad I bought it. I would recommend it, at least for a one-time purchase. It may not be for everyone, but if you really want to see the difference, but what bourbon can be, KOVAL, I'm highly recommending it. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and sign off. As always, please like and subscribe, hit the bell down there for notifications, and I promise I'll keep bringing you these videos.